If you're looking to learn how to make Liberian roasted meat, or maybe you just want to step up on your roasted meat game a bit, then you absolutely have to try this recipe. Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to Flo's Kitchen, where I show you how to make some of your favorite meals that you can easily recreate at home for yourself, your family, or your friends. Today, we are going through the process of how to make the best Liberian meat marinade. So let's get started. On our cutting board here, we have some fresh parsley. I'm using about a handful. And next, we have some red bell peppers chopped. And then we have here some fresh thyme. The fresher the ingredients, the better, okay? But you can use dry ingredients if that's what you prefer. We have some spring onions. Yellow onion. Should have been half of a yellow onion, but I think I cut a piece of it to use for something else. And over here, we have our chilies and garlic. And in this little bowl, we have some cumin seeds, whole black pepper, and whole white pepper. And here we have some habanero peppers. These are totally optional, but I like to add them for the extra heat. In this bowl, we have a rock sugar, but brown sugar will do just as well. And over here, we have my absolute favorite, the better than bouillon. This one is the roasted beef fizz. Next, we have some garlic and onion blend. Yes, smoked garlic and onions. And some smoked paprika. Next, we have some oregano and some rosemary. And over here, we have our vinegar. I'm using rice vinegar today because that's what I have on hand. But normally, I would use white or red wine vinegar or sometimes balsamic vinegar. Next, we have some cooking wine. This is optional, but I love it because it adds so much flavor to the marinade. And over here is our cooking oil. Olive oil is best for this marinade, but I'm using avocado oil because that's what I have on hand. Now let's give it up for the peanut butter. And in that little bowl, we have some kosher salt. Now we're going to start by adding the whole spices to the food processor. I should have used my spice grinder to grind the spices, but I got distracted and I added them to the food processor before I thought about it. But if you have a spice grinder or if you have a blender, you go ahead and use that, okay? Of course, you can get your spices already ground and use those if that's what you prefer. Next, we're going to add in the rock sugar. If you don't have a rock sugar, brown sugar will do just as well. Adding sugar enhances the flavor of the marinade, and it also helps retain moisture. That's going to make your meat really nice and juicy. Did you know sugar can also be used as a meat tenderizer, especially when combined with other ingredients? And that, my friend, is one of the secrets to getting an absolutely delicious, tender, juicy roasted meat every single time, foolproof. So instead of using store-bought meat tenderizer or baking soda that's going to give your meat that awful aftertaste, use a little bit of sugar. Just do it. And I can assure you it is not going to make your meat sweet. It took forever to grind the spices in the food processor, you guys. But once it was done, we went ahead and added in our peppers, onions, garlic, and herbs. Now we're just going to process them until smooth. This is a really good make-ahead marinade, you guys. Sometimes I'll make a lot and freeze it, and then when I'm ready to use it, I just go ahead and throw it, add my seasonings, and bam, it's good as new. Now that we have it nicely chopped up to our liking, we're going to add the oil. Did you notice that we didn't add the seasonings to the food processor? Yeah, I do that because I like to set some of that mixture aside for my lamb chops marinade. I do not add peanut butter to my lamb chops. Now, to complete the marinade for the lamb chops, I'll just add in some red wine vinegar, extra virgin olive oil, and my seasonings. That's it. Now, if you're anything like me and like chimichurri sauce, this will be the perfect base for chimichurri sauce. Just add in some red wine vinegar, some sea salt, some extra virgin olive oil, some smoked paprika, and maybe some red pepper flakes, or not. And I can assure you, that will be the best chimichurri sauce you ever try. Chef's kiss. But it's Liberian roasted meat without some peanut butter. So I added about 2 tablespoons of peanut butter to the mixture, okay? Now we're going to put that back on the food processor and process it. I'm using crunchy peanut butter because that's what I have. If you have creamy peanut butter, use that. Now when you process this with the peanut butter, you can get it as smooth as you like. I like to leave some texture in mine, okay? So that's what we're going to work with. And then we're going to transfer it to a bowl and add our seasonings. Now look at that, looking absolutely delicious already, and I am not even done yet. I also like to use this marinade on some beef ribs, some spare ribs, and some hog asses. Yeah, pigtails, that's what I meant. Now this video is about how to make roasted meat marinade. It is not about how to make roasted meat. Okay, I just wanted to get that out of the way. However, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you guys how I use the marinade. So keep watching. Once we have all the ingredients mixed together, I like to taste the marinade before I add in the meat. Don't want to taste the raw meat, okay? And if I need to add more of any of the ingredients, I'll go ahead and do it at this point, and then I'll taste it again. So this delicious marinade that we just made is used to infuse flavor and tenderize tougher cuts of meat, like chuck or round roast, just like the one we're using in this video. This is not the marinade for your rich or already tender cuts of meat, okay? I'm just saying. I have already removed the meat from the packaging, rinsed it on a cool water, pat it dry, and now we're gonna cut it into cubes. Cut them in nice chunky pieces, and while I'm doing that, I just go through every single piece and trim off any unwanted fat. If I make too much of the marinade, or maybe I just can't use all of it at the moment, I'll put some in a mason jar and freeze it for just when I need it. Now we're going to add our meat to the marinade. We're going to mix until well combined. I use a lot of this marinade, you guys, because this stuff is so good. You can use as much or as little as you like. Now look at that. We're gonna cover it and let it marinate in the fridge overnight. I'll be back tomorrow so we can grill it. And 24 hours later, now we're just gonna skewer these and put them on the grill. I just took them out of the fridge, so they are very cold. If you like, you can let it sit out on the kitchen countertop for about an hour or so to warm up before you grill it. I wasn't going to wait that long, okay? I was ready to eat. So I'm using a roast setting on this electric grill. The grill has a built-in timer and a temperature setting. I left the temperature at 360 as is, and I changed the timer to 25 minutes. I'm gonna add my meat, cover it, and leave it alone, okay? And then I'll come back halfway through and check the meat to see if I need to turn it. Now look at that. Absolutely delicious. Liberian roasted meat is usually served without pepper sauce. So if you want to know what's Liberian pepper sauce, or you want to learn how to make it, feel free to check out my pepper sauce video. I'm gonna link the pepper sauce video below, and all the ingredients that I'm using are also gonna be listed in the description below. Don't forget to check it out. If you enjoyed watching this video or find any value in my content, like, share with your family and friends, leave a comment, and do not forget to subscribe. This will really help me connect with you and also help the channel grow. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.